For me, the cold form of a child is the argument. This video actually comes from a war crime targeting a hospital in the Gaza Strip. According to information from many UN sources, there are currently more than 1,000 victims according to reports from Palestine. To me, this is truly an intolerable war crime. And of course, in the past 2 days, there has been a lot of conflicting information surrounding it, much of it with strong direct and indirect evidence showing that this is a crime by Israel. The little evidence I think is just Israel's fallacy of blaming Hamas and then blaming jihad. There are sources who say the number of casualties is not up to 1,000, but it is just a number that Hamas falsified to create media criticism of Israel. But all of that is not important to me. What touches my emotions is only the image of the cold bodies of children lying on the ground. Even the shape is not intact. Currently, we have two hottest wars, the war in Ukraine and the war in the Gaza Strip. But the characteristics of these two wars are different, leading to different emotions. In Ukraine we are witnessing a war that is essentially conventional, where the two sides deployed troops to fight and basically both Russia and Ukraine had a specific target, the enemy's army. Both Russia and Ukraine have a strong sense of avoiding harm to civilians. But the war in the Gaza Strip is different. On one side is an extremist organization that does not hesitate to attack Israel civilians, does not hesitate to kidnap and execute civilians, an organization that does not hesitate to declare that its main goal is to wipe out ISR. On one side is the Israel government, a far-right government with a consistent ideology that the Palestine state cannot exist, does not hesitate to openly attack civilian establishments, prohibit all efforts to relief force. In my Telegram group as well as in some of my videos, you will see that sometimes I feel sorry for the Palestine, and sometimes I stand with the Palestine. Do I not have any political will? Should I change positions depending on which side has more damage? Attacked Israel, executed Israel civilians on the way. I have no regrets with Israel attacked Gaza, chaos broke out, electricity and water were cut off, people were isolated, and I used no shortage of words with ISR. A hospital in Gaza was bombed, 500 people died, 800 people and even more. And once again I resent the Israel people. Well, some people wonder which side I chose in the end, which side I support. This is extremely difficult to say. I am not clear about the division of friends and enemies, and I cannot have an opinion that absolutely supports either side because it is a political division. Even with the political division, I have also said that both sides have their own ambitions, each side is at fault, each side is the culprit and each side is the victim. I will evaluate what the two sides do to each other at each specific time to understand who is going too far and who is committing a crime at that time. Both in Israel and Palestine. When an Israeli child kidnapped by Hamas cries, I cannot say that Hamas is doing the right thing, but I will exactly use a word from the market for Hamas. When I looked at the dazed and scared eyes of a boy in Gaza after an airstrike, my heart sobbed for that boy. For me, I can separate politics and emotions in this war. Politically at a time I can analyze the story of which side is right and which side is wrong, which side I support and which side. I'm relatively anti-team. But I will completely put it aside when I see a child no matter which side it is. At first, I was angry at the images of what Hamas was doing to the Israelis and my feelings for the Israelis. After that I was extremely upset about what Israel was doing to Gaza. And after what happened to the hospital in Gaza, and in all of Gaza, I again took my emotions away from Israel and suffered with the Palestinians. Although, to be fair, I have never defended the suffering caused by Hamas to Israel hostages or victims of Israel attacks. I'm not a hypocrite. I reacted very normally, indignant because of an unarmed person, unable to defend himself, not because of the country this person belongs to. This sympathy is not divided along national lines, but actually by the number of bodies found cold. And because my emotions are determined by the cold body count, that is why at this moment I must say that I turn to Gaza. Because why? Because first of all, what the Western media reports about Hamas is gradually being exposed as fake news, while the tragic images of the Palestinian people in the Gaza Strip are real images. So my emotional question, even though I know the answer, I still want to ask is why? If Hamas does evil, then find every way to deal with it. Why is Gaza gradually being taken as the main target, isolated, putting all the people in the southern half to spread the carpet in the north? And now there is an order to concentrate all the people into an area of a few square kilometers on the coast. To spread the carpet, so that the infantry can enter. And for announcing it. After giving 24 hours to evacuate, feel free to release bombs, freely bombard groups of people evacuating, destroy food facilities, completely require medical medicine, completely ban relief activities and take no responsibility. Responsible for any damages? Why are you so cruel to the pallets? During many days of monitoring the reaction from the Palestinian-Israeli community, I realized that there are many people who choose sides absolutely. Those who choose Israel bring up thousands of years of history to justify that Israelis are sovereign, including it is natural to argue that the Hamas people attacked first, so Israel has the right to destroy. Then, when they saw Israel cutting off all essential supplies and isolating Gaza, they commented that it has the right, who can stop it? Then when I saw Israel attack and spread carpet on Gaza, even though I saw many painful images, I was still able to say one word: if you're stupid, why would you ask Hamas to provoke you? Then there are those who choose to absolutely support Palestine and say, the Jews are the same no matter what, we owe Hitler an apology, and then the people are living on their own and now want to take over everyone else's land. Why don't we wipe out a nation of such ungrateful and arrogant people? I honestly can't understand that kind of point of view. Maybe it's because sometimes I'm too mean, or I'm too hypocritical. No, I believe my view is correct. To have the right to be recognized, in principle you must believe that the truth belongs to you, justice belongs to you. But look at Israel and Palestine today. Ignore the blunt statements of other governments on both sides. Is there any truth or reason that recognizes that, because we were attacked, we have the right to completely destroy another nation? Please tell me that no such argument or rule can exist. Politics is ambiguous, but death is real. And every day, the cold corpses are still carried in their arms with cries, still placed on the cold ground in straight rows, still buried in rubble. Those large, round eyes opened up to an indelible fear. That is the reality. The children of Israel and Palestinians are being targeted, so stop choosing sides, take sides. The children's side.